Hey, what's up guys, welcome to another exciting tutorial with UXmate. In today's video we're going to learn how to create a cool mouse tracking or mouse follow effect in Figma. So without any further ado, let's jump into Figma. Well, before that, make sure you already subscribe to the channel, hit that bell icon next to it, because if you're not doing that, then you're going to miss a lot of exciting content or the notifications for all our future uploads. And guys, don't forget to write down the comments, and last but not least, thumbs up button. So yep, let's close this and let's jump into the Figma. I had created a nice component here, but we are going to recreate this from scratch, so don't worry. I'll just duplicate this or I'll simply create everything from scratch. So now I'll walk you through the base which we are going to use here. I'll definitely use the different colors for the initial tutorial purpose, and then we are going to hide them anyways. So let's give this name left and this one is right. I'll select both of them and I'll just right click and frame selection. So this will frame both of them in one single frame. I'll rename this controller because this is going to be our controller and this is going to help us creating the mouse tracking effect. Now let's quickly create eyes. You can do any sort of images, not necessarily eyes. You can use a face or anything which you want to animate based on your mouse. So let's just give it a stroke. Nice. I'll keep it very simple for the tutorial. You can make it more fancy, more detailed version of the same. Just keep in mind, as much as elements you add, as much as details you add, you need to work on the animation for all of these elements. So make sure you add the elements wisely and not just something which looks cool, is easy to implement. So yeah, so let's frame selection, left eye, duplicate the same and make it right eye. You can adjust the distance between eyes as you want, or any other objects which you are going to create. I'll select again both of them and frame selection and give it a name eyes. Make sure your eyes are not inside the controller layer. Controller layer is separate. Select both of them and then create a component. Before creating a component, let's wrap them in a frame. So frame selection, and now rename this eyes slash center. We need 3 copies of the same, one for the center, one for the left, and one for the right. So eyes slash left and then one eyes slash right. So this way we have created 3 copies of the same frame. Then we are going to create the animation in those frames. So let's use the center line as the reference point for the animation. So I'll just animate the eyes something like this. You can change the exaggeration of the animation. I'll also change the pupil movement, so that gives more natural and cartoonish look, which we saw in the preview. And guys, you can extend the same setup for all other positions as well, like top and bottom, and then that would be pretty simple. Instead of 2 rectangles, we need 4 rectangles. If you want to make it more complex for the all other 8 directions, then we need 8 of these rectangles. I'll tell you the concept. Once you understand the concept, you can implement the same concept in any number of directions, and then you can achieve the complete mouse tracking setup, which you can use for a game kind of interfaces, or you want to create something cool which follows your mouse in the prototypes. Okay, so let's select all of them and let's create a component from these. So make sure you click on this arrow next to the create component button and click on create component set, not multiple or not create component set. So that will create a component with 3 variants which are center, left and right. Now we need to create the interaction part. So select the red or the left rectangle from the controller layer of the first variant, which is the center variant, and let's go to the prototype. You can use Shift E to toggle between design and prototype tabs. So I am in prototype tab. I'll quickly create, so I'll create an interaction from the left rectangle to the left variant. I will set the trigger to while hovering because we want to track when the mouse is hovering this portion. We want to change the direction of the eyes to the left. Okay, so change to left, smart animate, and then we can keep it 400. You can change the duration as well based on your requirements. Now let's select the right rectangle or the blue rectangle in this case and drag it to the right. Make sure you change on click to while hovering, so that will make sure that whenever your mouse is hovering this rectangle, it shows the right variant of the prototype, right variant of the component. Okay, rest of the things looks good, and we don't need to add any interactions to these. If we add any interactions to these, then that will be quite confusing, and we will be in a loop of animation which we don't want at all. Okay, now I'll just get rid of this old frame or the old component, and I'll use this new one here. First I'll show you how this looks, and then we are going to change the background color. Now you can see when my mouse is on the left area or the red rectangle, my eyes are following on the left. When I am on the blue, my eyes are following on the blue. Okay, and now you would have understood this very simple concept, but when we implement this, then it creates a nice cool looking animation in Figma, which gives a feel that mouse is actually being tracked and it is getting followed. If you want to, as I already said, if you want to do it for the all other directions, you just have to make these rectangles smaller. So I'll just quickly show you. So you just have to make these rectangles smaller, duplicate them, and create multiple variants for all other directions, and based on the direction, change the position of the eyes and then create the interactions. Same way, interactions would be only from the first variant to all other variants, not from any other variants, and that way you can create an awesome mouse tracking interaction. So I'll just quickly there are two choices. You can simply make these rectangles in one single color, or you can simply hide them. To hide, you will not use these eyes buttons, because if you use these eyes buttons to hide them, then Figma won't trigger the interaction. So what we have to do, we have to lower the opacity to 0, or you can simply change the color of the rectangles to hide, whichever or the background color you have. So I'll simply lower the opacity just by hitting 0 on the keyboard, and that will make all these rectangles with a 0 opacity. And now if I play this again, you can see my animation is still there, and now it gives a feeling that okay, eyes are tracking or eyes are following the mouse cursor. And if you're loving the content which we are creating, then please feel free to give us the super thanks. That helps us monetarily, and the product links in the description are affiliated links that will also give us a little commission if you buy any of these products from the links given below. And yeah, that's all. To the next video. Keep watching, keep learning, keep designing.